Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Drew Priddy of Olivet boys basketball and also Olivet football. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. So let's kind of talk about just overall how this basketball is going pretty well for you.
Yeah.
Undefeated so far this season. Got another big win last night. And just kind of talk about how fun this year has been.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I like basketball anyways, but you combine it with having a good season. I get to play with a bunch of my best friends, get to play with my cousin Bo, which we always kind of grew up playing on the little mini basketball hoop at Grandma and Grandpa's house. And so it's just fun to see, that develop into what it is now. And we're playing together in high school. And then love our coaching staff, coaches that we have. Really like the strategy that we have that goes in the game. So all in all, it just comes together, and it's been a really fun season so far.
For sure. Yeah, just of course, you just made some news yourself. You're continuing your football career. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I just recently committed to Indiana Wesleyan, an NAIA school down in Indiana, but just really excited. Had been down there a few times, and I just love the culture that they have down there. Good football program. They made it to the semifinals of their playoffs this year, and this is only their fifth year, or this past year was their fifth year as a program. So they're a new program, but love the coaching staff, love the culture, and when I went down there for my visits, it just felt like home.
Yeah. So just kind of talk about just how this football season went for you. Another successful year. Obviously, it didn't end the way that you wanted to, but overall, you gotta be satisfied with it. It was a good year.
Yeah, I had a good year. And had a ton of fun playing with my friends. My dad came back and helped coach this year, which had a ton of fun having him back. Had him get in my ear a few times. He's my O-line coach, so got to see him a lot during practice. But had a lot of fun this year. Had a good year. Obviously, would have wished it would have went a little differently in the playoffs, but lost to a really good Portland team, which isn't too bad of a team to lose to.
Yeah. Just kind of talk about being on the offensive line. Just what is that like?
It's the most sacrificial spot on the team, and I think it's the most important outside of quarterback. Often, like just growing up, I was always an offensive lineman, so you kind of see like offensive linemen are the ones who make the offense run. Like obviously, if you don't have the offensive line blocking, like quarterback's not going to be able to step back to throw, running backs aren't going to be able to run the ball. Like it's just really a sacrificial spot, and it's a really fun spot too. You kind of get to take people where they don't want to go, put them on their butt, land on top of them. So I've always loved playing O-line.
Yeah. Just kind of talk about how you get ready for a football game. Just right before, like, what do you do?
So I've never really been a big pump up rah guy. Not into the music. I just really just the best way for me is just hanging out with my buddies, joking around, kind of that light feel. I feel like if I take it too serious, then I kind of psych myself out of the game. So I think just kind of keeping a normal tone, just kind of sitting there talking to my buddies, and then just kind of mentally sitting down, preparing myself is how I get ready.
Yeah. So kind of just talk about how things are, kind of going this year and, with football, with basketball, your senior year. Can you believe it's your senior year?
No, I can't. It's all gone by really fast, and having a great year so far, having a great year of football, basketball, having a great year in school. I'm just really kind of trying to soak in the moment best I can, hanging out with my buddies. We're having a ton of fun. Just kind of ready for it to end, but at the same time, kind of sad that it's ending.
Yeah. Okay. So best moment, this could be from, okay. So we'll do this one for football. Best game, best moment you've been a part of.
Oh, that's had a lot of good moments. I know my sophomore year we won 2 playoff games, and that run was a ton of fun to go on. We had 2 games with Williamston last year, my junior year, and our second game in the playoff was rainy, nasty, muddy weather, and the final score was 3-0. The game went to overtime. We won on a field goal. It was just crazy game. You look out after the game, and everyone who played our jerseys were completely brown. The game was absolutely, it was just crazy. So I'd say that was probably my favorite memory, was that game.
Okay. Football player you looked up to growing up?
I've always been a huge Giants fan, so I always liked Eli Manning when I was growing up. I like the Manning brothers. Obviously quarterbacks, not offensive linemen, but offensive line I really looked at, and I really liked Joe Thomas growing up from the Browns. And obviously he's a Hall of Famer, was a really good player. So I'd say that's kind of the player that I looked at as an offensive lineman and was like, yeah, that guy's really good.
Yeah. What does football mean to you?
It means a lot. Just the relationships that I formed through football is just have changed my life. My dad, and a bunch of the other coaches that have coached me through the years have really taken me, made me a better person through the lessons that they taught me. So for me, football, it's a great game, and I love the strategy of it. But even more than that, it just does it's just a special game. Like the relationships you form are just, they're special, and I wouldn't give those up for anything.
Um, let's see. What's your go-to place for food?
Go-to place. If it's fast food, I'm looking for something to eat. Culver's for sure.
That's a good choice right there.
If we're sitting down, I love Mexican, and there's a spot in Charlotte that I feel like I basically keep the place in business. I go there so often, but it's Acapulco in Charlotte. Me, that's like me.
Actually, we just got an Acapulco here in where my town is. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. Me and my family loves it. Me and my buddies go there probably once a week. So love that place.
Yeah. And lastly, what is something people do not know about you?
Something they don't know about me. I don't know. I'm a pretty open guy, so I don't know.
Well, maybe something that the audience maybe watching this wouldn't guess about you.
Gosh, I don't know. That's a hard one to think on the spot, but I would say some, like, as much as I talk about football, I would actually say, like, strategy wise, like I like basketball even more in that sense, the strategy that goes into it.
Yeah.
This last few years, the game plans and the strategy that Coach Seidel has kind of used, like I really like that strategy. So for the future, I want to get into coaching, teaching, that kind of thing, those kind of things. And if I were to coach basketball, kind of taking on that same strategy that he's coached us in, and kind of taking it in my own way.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Drew, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck the rest of the year in this basketball season. And congrats on your commitment. We'll definitely have you on sometime again later in the year.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.